Let's set in a comfortable meditation posture and close the eyes. Put the attention on the silence that is there always deep in the mind. This is your connection to the silent witness. Go deep into that silence. Allow yourself to be completely surrounded by that deep inner silence. Now with your intention, become the silent. I am the silent witness. As the silent witness, you have access to transcendental absolute senses. You can witness, you can hear, you can experience the illusory universe. From this level of the silent witness, listen to the words of the Yoga Vasishta. Book 4, Chapter 57, continuing with verse 23. Be an intellectual being. And continue to breathe your vital breath. But keep your imagination under control. And take no account of the course of time or the revolution of days and nights. Forsake your desire for the objects of sense and root out your sense of individual ego, which is the root of desire. Let your understanding be calm and quiet, and you will be honored by all. Drive away all feelings and thoughts from your heart and mind. For he who is free from anxieties is superior to all. Let a man practice his samadhi trance or other sorts of intense meditation or not. He is reckoned to have obtained his liberation, whose elevated mind has lost its reliance on worldly things. The man devoid of desires has no need to observe or avoid pious acts. The freedom of his mind from dependence on anything is sufficient for his liberation. Now we have a very succinct and significant instruction from Vasishta. an instruction on how to achieve moksha level 1 and how to maintain moksha level 1. It is common for the seeker of spiritual life, and even for someone without any intention to achieve moksha, to have an experience of moksha, because it is a natural state of being. But moksha level 1 is easy to lose. Think about the sun, always there all day in the sky, but sometimes it's behind the clouds. When clouds come between you and the sun, you don't see the sun. When karmic traces move around and come in to obstruct your clear vision of pure being, your clear connection with pure intelligence, then what has happened? You lose your connection with moksha. Moksha means liberation, freedom, freedom from the boundaries imposed by individual karmic traces. A very simple and easy to understand concept. Nothing mysterious about moksha or the path to achieve it. The path is simple. Be an intellectual being. That means use your mind. Use your mind to discern what is about you. The senses of being connected to the mind or part of the mind help you to interface with the illusion. So it's important that you interface with the illusion, because the illusion is produced by the karmic traces. By experiencing and interfacing with the illusory world around you, you have direct contact with your karmic traces. But he says to keep your imagination under control. That means when thoughts arise, don't give them undue attention. If you're in the practice of meditation, you give them no attention. And the ideal, of course, is to transform your life into a large 24/7 meditation, in which your attention is always focused on the light of pure being, the silent witness. For our main and number one practice is to do exactly what we're doing right now. Connect with and become the silent witness. And when thoughts come up and take us out of that beautiful, timeless presence, we ignore those thoughts and come back to the silent witness. But he says to continue to breathe your vital breath. That means continue to operate the body while you're established in the silent witness. Why? Because the operation of your body is directed by the karmic traces. If you connect with the silent witness and do nothing, your progress will be slower than if you connect with the silent witness and engage in the illusory universe. Then you will have maximum progress. We moved very slowly into this type of engagement in our sadhana. We begin by thinking a mantra. The next step is find the silent witness and connect with it and hold that connection while the mind is thinking the mantra. This is the least amount of activity possible. But it is constant activity, isn't it? We don't stop thinking the mantra. We never stop thinking the mantra during dharana. During that part of our sadhana that calls for thinking the mantra, that's exactly what we do. Continually, constantly. We don't give in to the ego's complaining. Oh, this is enough. Just be in the silence. This is a defense mechanism of the ego. Ego becomes very crafty, seeking out ways to keep itself from being completely eliminated. Don't pay attention to the ego. Instead, maintain your connection with the silent witness, but do not put attention on the thoughts, the desires, and the objects of sense that arise, because you know that in this state of dharana, while connected with the silent witness, every thought that arises is an expression of the balancing of karmic traces. Always keep the mind calm and quiet and centered in the silent witness. We have a good time to practice this during our meditation and during the reading of Yoga Vasishta. We want to extend this practice to all areas of life, 24/7. When the body goes to sleep, watch it go to sleep from the silent witness. You have the pratibha senses, transcendental senses that are beyond the 5 koshas. You can connect with these senses that are beyond this body, beyond even this universe. As you connect with these senses, you will at first be connecting with superficial aspects of the senses. First, you will connect with the senses of the pranamaya kosha. Those are not the pratibha senses, but they are the senses of the first connection with the silent witness. But we must transcend that connection and go to a deeper level of silent witness. Continuing to go deeper and deeper into the silent witness. As we go to the silent witness on the subconscious mind, we connect with the senses of the pranamaya kosha. And we watch and witness the activities of the physical life. We cannot watch and witness the activities of the pranamaya kosha in the astral world, however, until we transcend again, go deeper into manomaya kosha. Then we can observe the activities of the physical body and the prana body, while we feel we are relatively present and silent. This presence and silence is relative because we haven't transcended deeply enough yet. At first it will seem absolute. First it will seem I am living in the now. I am living in the eternal presence of the silent witness. But then after a while you become familiar with it. You'll notice boundaries to your awareness. You'll notice subtle thoughts are still there. A subtle dialogue, different from the dialogue of the conscious thinking mind, but yet there is still a sense of I-ness, a sense of separation, a sense of one being out of many. This is not the deepest level of the silent witness. You must transcend again as soon as you notice that. When you notice that, you know you're not at the deepest level of the silent witness. But what you are doing is you are connecting with deeper levels of your karmic traces. By doing this, you are driving away all feelings and thoughts from your heart and mind. You're becoming free of anxieties. But this is not enough. We must continue to be very intellectual and discerning about what level of the silent witness am I now experiencing. At first, it's good enough to become the silent witness at whatever level you can grab a hold of that beautiful eternal now. But at some point, as you become familiar with it, like walking out into the bright sunshine, there's very difficult to see what's going on. The eyes must become accustomed to the bright light. But when they do, then you see, okay, we have objects here and there, and this is happening over there. You become aware of your environment again. At first, you're not aware of your environment. You're in a completely different environment that has even no objects of sense, because the eyes are not accustomed to the light. Same thing happens when we transcend to the silent witness. As we go deeper, the silent witness takes on new characteristics. Primarily, it takes on a new characteristic of unboundedness. The first connection with the silent witness, we are convinced this is unbounded pure awareness. The silence is incredible. Then our senses in the pranamaya kosha become accustomed to being used, and they start reporting true information to our mind. In the initial stages, it's overload. They report no information. Therefore, the mind says, aha, I have arrived. This is pure unbounded being. Then you begin to discern objects in your environment. You begin to discern edges to your once thought to be unbounded awareness. And you realize you are still confined by some boundaries of subtle thoughts, boundaries of subtle objects. in the prana realm. That is your cue to transcend again. Like that, we are going to build our final access to moksha, which is the literal experience of oneness, being the only being in existence. There is no one else. I am all. I am everything. And I am beyond everything. But as a karmic trace is balanced, it threatens to pull us out of that beautiful, timeless silence. So we maintain our discrimination. This is silent witness. That is illusion. Judging always that we are deep in silence. If we're not, we come back to it. We go deeper. Continuing with verse 28, a man may well have studied the scriptures and discussed about them in conversation, yet he is far from perfection. Without perfect renunciation and silence, just because we can chant the Vedas, it doesn't mean anything in regard to our liberation, moksha. It's only a way of functioning that we have developed in the illusion. What is required is perfect connection with the deepest level of the silent witness. There are men who have examined everything and wandered in all parts of the world, but there are few who have known the truth. Those who know the truth are those established in level of consciousness 600 and higher. And those are very rare people in today's society. 1 in 10 million, perhaps, is at that level. Do the math and you'll see maybe 800 people in the entire world are living, established in the silent witness 24 hours a day. Let that be your guide. Let not the ego jump up and say, oh, I'm one of these 800 people, when in truth, you lose the silence when you go to sleep. There's a gap in your awareness. You're no longer witnessing the body sleeping, the dreams arising and falling. You still have a ways to go. Of all things observed in the world, there is nothing that may be truly desirable and is sought after by the wise. All this excitement of the world and all the pursuits of men tend only towards the support of the animal body. There is nothing in the world that leads to the edification of the rational soul. Search all over this earth, in heaven above and in the infernal regions below, and you will find only a few people who has known what is worth knowing. It is rare to find a wise man whose mind is devoid of his firm reliance on the vanities of the world, whose mind is freed from its desire or disgust of something or another as agreeable or disagreeable. Now we have an excellent opportunity. This opportunity is to remain established as a silent witness while engaging in the world. We're going to engage with the Trimana Sanyama practice on the esoteric Mahamantra, because this is a literal chainsaw to the trees of karmic traces. All karmic traces that have become active now in the awareness, whatever are the thoughts in the mind, balance these karmic traces. Jai Gurudev.